Welcome to C-Scouts Online. This is a new way to work, trying to create some short videos that we can use later during our online meetings. We don't want to overwhelm you with a long meeting showing you slides, so we're giving this in advance so you can watch the videos, watch the manual, see what is needed in a short video. This is the first one. It's called "The Ship is About to Sail" with the Papa flag on top of the mast. As you see here, we are starting our series of single-handle Sea Scout and virtual Sea Scout ships, because in our Transatlantic Council, we're starting our first virtual Sea Scout ship, and we want to move forward while we're sharing all this content with other councils and other people who want to start these kind of ships. We are following the model of the single-handle Sea Scouts document that is our own version of the Long Scout document. We're not going to go over the whole manual here, but this is just an overview so you can have an idea of where we are going. Our initial meeting with the Sea Scout is called the organizational meeting or the open house, and in our case, we don't want to have 1 hour of you watching me speaking. You don't want that. This is why I prefer to use the asynchronous mode of learning, that you can watch videos and you can watch content at your own pace. Of course, meetings are important, but I think that online live meetings are better if we keep a conversation rather than a one-way presentation. During this meeting, we are going to see the manual of Sea Scout, the manual of the single-handle Sea Scout in some detail, but it's important that you get the manuals. An important part of this first meeting is to establish the vision, the SMART goals, and the action of the individual Sea Scouts. And then they will have time to organize their ship and organize their quarterdeck. This is the diagram that we're using for our model. You are going to find that it's another video that shows you how we're doing this virtual Sea Scout ship model in the Transatlantic Council that now we are sharing with others. We started with an individual single-handle Sea Scout, and then when we have enough Sea Scout, we have a charter, we have way to create the virtual organization and start working online, because we are all in different places and different cities and even countries. The whole idea of this model is to grow locally with your Sea Scout, so you can eventually have your own Sea Scout ship, your traditional Sea Scout ship. In our case, in Transatlantic Council, we have combined not only Sea Scouting but also exploring. We are creating an Explorer Club because we have teenagers that are in middle school, and with two purposes. One, to grow to exploring post and Sea Scout ship, and also when they grow up, they will be the feeder of our virtual and traditional Sea Scout ship. Very well. Let's move forward. This is the reason we're doing these videos. I think that we all have a video conference fatigue. We are, during these months, having so many seminars, meetings, classes. Today, we have a long day of meetings, so I'm trying to minimize this fatigue. And we want to start telling you to go to my presentation that I use for the roundtables. It's very short too, and no more than 12 minutes, I think, that you can see the different parts that we're doing, explaining what is Sea Scout and why you should do a Sea Scout ship. But in our case, we're going to concentrate in our single-handle Sea Scout manual. We're not going to go to the old document because it's quite long, but what is important here is why you need to do this. What are the methods that we're using? In our case, we're using an approach that combine the virtual opportunities that we have now with technology, with time, with many things can be done online, with the outdoors opportunities, with the idea to grow later in both areas. I have been teaching for 20 years online, and my favorite courses are done in a hybrid format, a little bit of online and a little bit of real activity hand-on, so we can combine. Remember that different styles of learning require different ways to absorb knowledge. let's move forward. I don't know, what is important here is that you read what is needed for the counselor. In our Long Scout program, the parents can be counselor, but you also can find a local expert in sailing, a local maritime expert to help your Sea Scouts to advance. And this is how we measure this. We measure with the manual, with the goals, with the planning activities they do, because at the end, this is their program. This is a single-handed Sea Scout program led by your youth. They need to know what they want to do. Some kids like advancement, others like sailing, scuba diving. You have to find what are the needs of your Sea Scout. Let's move forward because I want to keep this video short. The first thing that you need to do, of course, go to the seascout.org website, download a copy of the manual, see the resources, marketing resources, basic training for youth and adults. You can start going into the water by yourself. You don't need me, you don't need the whole organization to follow this rule. This is a scouting movement. It's a Sea Scouting movement that starts from the bottom up. Decide what to do in your city and start moving forward using this manual. The important part of this manual is that we all are scouts. We are under the same oath, under the same law, and in Sea Scout we have the Sea Promise. In this manual you will go down to the important part for this first meeting, that is Sea Advancements. We want your Sea Scout to get some requirements in the apprentice area, that is the first rank, and you can see that some of these activities can be done at home. We are providing online resources to help. One day we will be out again to be able to swim, to sail, to paddleboard, etc. Get familiar with the requirements, because these requirements are the base of the next part that I'm going to explain. Before we go to the online component of our presentation, keep this document in mind, because as you grow, you're going to see that you need to organize your Sea Scout ship, the real one or the virtual one. So I've been using this document to help me understand what is an organizational meeting, a first meeting, a second meeting. I'm trying to adapt this resource to our specific needs. But let's go to the center of our world. We are creating a Sea Scout online platform, very easy, using Google Sites, free sites, so we can share and combine resources. Many leaders have PowerPoints, PDF files, links to cool videos that need to be updated, and we want to share all resources. So if you go here, there is an error here on the index, but it's been fixed because we are in sea trials. There's several typos that we are fixing because we are always under construction. We are improving this site, learning how to do it. But the important part is that we are following the Sea Scout manual. You see here, the apprentice requirements are being, again, shown. What you see in bold are some resources that we already have. We can have more. And on the bottom, you will see access to specific areas of the apprentice rank. You see empty spaces because I need you to give, to provide resources. We have some cool videos, new videos, old videos. And then we have things that have been provided by several skippers that Sea Scout that have provided in several courses. So feel free to collaborate. This is a collaboration model, so we grow together our fleet. The Sea Scout Online website is open, is free, and the whole idea is to concentrate all the information, but this also is replicated back and forth in our Sea Scout Online room. This was our first idea, created using classrooms. It has been growing. Some scouts they are using. Some people are even replicating the courses. We have, I'm going to show you in 1 second, that we have all this. You see, we have Explorers Club, SS9 Ranger, Maritime Explorer, Sea Scouts in Spanish, and then we have other classrooms that are not related to Scout, but are part also of our own platforms. So let's go back to the Sea Scout Online, where you can see we're not going to cover all this now, but I want to show you what is important. The first thing that we're doing is to go to Module 0 that explains the single handle manual. And here I'm going to stop in the 0.4 personal vision and goals, because this is what you want to accomplish on the first meeting. Be sure that your Sea Scouts are able to start creating their own program. We are following the NYLT method that tells you create a vision, a personal vision, 3 goals, and 5 action plans. Sound familiar? Yes, we are Scouts after all. We're going to stop here so we can continue in another video. I already hitting the minute 11 and I don't want to go beyond. So the last slide I'm going to show you is where to find me. You can email me, call me. I am in social media, and so you can see that we are growing together our next adventure. Welcome aboard.